Learn to use a for-in loop to iterate through all the property names of a past JSON object. In this example, we're going to be looking at how you can use the for-in loop alongside with object properties in JavaScript. When you pass an object, you might not always know what data fields are hidden inside it. So instead of guessing and typing them out one by one, you can use a for-in loop. So let's look at an example that demonstrates how the for-in loop can be used alongside objects in JavaScript. So I'm already here inside the script tag. So let's go on and make a variable. So that variable, let it be our object for the example. So let's call it my JSON. You can give it any name of choice, but in my own case, I'm going to make it a plain text. I'm going to add another property called car to this. And give it a value of none. So now that I have this, then it's time for me to take my variable from a plain text to an object using the JSON.parse method. So it comes my obj. This is just a variable name. You can name your variable anything. Just make sure it is descriptive enough so that you'll be able to remember it as you work alongside what you have in your course or in your application. So now I've just passed my objects, and the result of the passed object is being returned. The return of the passed string is being returned into my obj. So now I just change this from normal plain text into an object using this JSON.parse method. So now I want to loop over these properties to see both the hidden and the visible properties of my object. So let's go ahead and make an empty variable text and give it an empty value. So this place is going to be the content of whatever you need over in your code space to be stored inside this text. So you can then go ahead and make use of the for-in loop. So we call on the for keyword. I say const x. You can represent this with anything. Y, you can represent it with a, but let me just use x. And the impact of the loop, we pass it across the object. Object. And once you add this, then you can say, okay, the text I have outside, which is this empty variable, plus equals to whatever the result of x is, and then I want to add what to space, it's comma, to show whatever is contained as the properties in my object. So once you have this, then you can come down and do document.get elements. Add the demo of text. And now, if you look closely at what is on my screen, now you can see the name, the age, city, and car. Now, if you look closely at what just got output on the screen, you will see that these are all the keys that are contained inside my object. And that is the name, the age, the city, and the car. Because the for-in loop will output all the keys that are contained in your object, as you can see in this my own example. Now, think of this for loop as an automated script that step through the object, unlock every single property drawer one after another, and exposing the name of the label. So another name for keys is label. So the keys or the label that are contained in your object will be exposed, and then you'll be able to process them automatically. So this example just shows us how our script passes a JSON string, and this is our JSON string, into a live object, and we use this pass method to take it from a JSON string into a live object. It then runs a for-in loop that grab each key name or each label, the name, the age, car, and city, and links them together into a continuous text string separated by commas and output them on the screen. So looking at our code here, let's quickly do a code breakdown. Now, this particular line that we have here, the my JSON is a variable that houses our JSON string. And if you look closely, you will see that this is just a normal variable that is assigned a value of that JSON string. And then we are making use of this next method, JSON.pass, to pass this from a plain string into a live object so that you'll be able to move it and so that we're able to move over it and then work with it to interact with the properties of that live object. So our for context in my obj is where the loop is set up. So in each round of the loop, the variable x that we have here is automatically assigned the text string name of the next property key inside my obj. And then once it picks that up, then the text plus equals x plus this command append the current key stored in x onto our master text string. And once it has any result, so it continues to append that current key string that is stored inside x onto our master text string. That means that once it runs first, then the x is going to be equals to name, it will add it here. The next one is going to be age, it will add it here. The x is going to be city, and so on and so forth. And once that has been done completely, then the get element by id method is going to be injected into the DOM to write into our demo value of our HTML and output the results for us on the screen. Here are a few key takeaways from this lesson. Number one, the standard for in loop specifically targets and return the property names, the keys or the label, and not the values that are attached to them. Number two, this technique is incredibly helpful when dealing with unpredictable data from external APIs, allow you to discover what property exists on the fly. So that way you save your time, you save yourself time of working with properties that may not even exist in the first place, or that may take much of your time and waste it on things that does not exist or that is not contained in what is returned from such external APIs.